All right. Hey, everybody. Cleta the Cheetah here. We are live on our Boss Babe call, February 26, 2024. And I just want to say a little shout out. I have some on our Boss Babe call, February. There we go. Okay. I have some amazing friends. Thank you, Gina, Sayla, Maureen, all of you that did the unit meeting just a minute ago. While I was rushing for a championship game that we did win with my little niece. And so y'all 10 years old, Eve Colson, unbelievable. She has such heart. And I've never seen a more excited group of girls. It's I think it's fifth and sixth grade. Unbelievable. Anyway, so good. I think it was 25-21. It was a barn burner. So anyway, excited to be here tonight. I'm here for the win. And I'm excited to play another one of our 29 Days of Love videos to y'all. But before I do, I was on a call. I know Gina talked about this at our unit meeting, but I was on a call with our spring beauty break and sold over $1,000 in just a few, like 30 minutes. And one of the things I sold a ton of were the new hand creams. And I'll just have to be honest, I just don't usually sell a lot of the new hand creams. Nothing wrong with them. I just particularly have a very sensitive nose and I don't know. I love the normal regular line. I want to show y'all this video of Valerie, she's the top director, who romanced these hand creams to where I sold, I think it was 39 of them. Like 11 sets of 3 each. Okay. And I want to play it for you because I want you to hear how she romances these hand creams. I'm talking about the new spring hand creams that are $10 a piece. In my wildest dreams, I would have never sold 39 of those hand creams. I mean, I'm just telling you, Gina, thank you. She's holding them up. So I'm going to just see if I can't stream this. I got to find it on here. Hang on one moment and play it for y'all. This is Valerie Lucia. She is from San Antonio and she did a fabulous job on it. Okay. We're going to try right now. Okay, here we go.
Hey everyone, my name is Valerie Lucio, and I've been building my business for 26 years. My secret number is 3, so write that down. 3 for the 3 limited edition hand creams for spring. Each one of them smells like a vacation in a bottle. So whether you're going on vacation or not, all you have to do is apply the hand cream to your hand, rub it in, smell, close your eyes, and get away in your mind. Well, let's talk about the different scents. The purple hand cream is berries and rose with notes of strawberry, rose, and vanilla. Honestly, it smells good enough to eat. The pink hand cream is passion flower with notes of watermelon, peony, and peony and freesia. The yellow hand cream is my favorite. It's Island Mist and Jasmine with notes of granny apple, star jasmine, and Italian lemon. This hand cream takes me to white sandy beaches and turquoise water, well, in my mind. Of course, just like all of our hand creams, these leave your hands feeling hydrated and nourished, but not greasy. You're gonna want one for your purse, your car, your gym bag, and your nightstand. So here's a pro tip. Every night, I use my Mary Kay hand cream and my Mary Kay lip balm to keep my hands and lips hydrated. These hand creams also make great gifts. So think teacher gifts, think Easter baskets, but they are limited edition, which means get them before they're gone. They're normally $10 each, so 3 for $30, but tonight you get them at a special price. Choose any combination of 3 for only $25. Let your consultant know which scents you want. Now to you, Melissa.
Okay. Do y'all see how simple that was? 39 hand creams. And all she did is we did have a little special and it was 3 for $25. It's $5 off, y'all. That's not that much, right? And so, I mean, set after set after set. And most of the people that bought sets, they bought two sets of three. And I've talked to them and like, because y'all, I didn't have that many. I had like six on my shelf. I had two of each. I ordered three of each, and another girl already ordered all three of them. I'm like, wow. Okay. So then I sold all of those. So I started calling them. I said, hey, listen, are you in a big hurry? She goes, I'm going to use them as teacher gifts. And someone said, no, I'm going to use them as, I'm going to save them for Easter gifts. And I'm like, I think that'll be some great gifts. So I just wanted to show you that's a short little marketing that you could do on your own customer group and sell these hand creams and do a little special like that. So anyway, I thought it was good enough. I mean, the whole thing was good enough to share, but I wanted y'all to see how simple she did it and how short it was and how effective it was. It just blew me away. So 3 hand creams are for 3 for 25. So y'all, it's a good thing to do maybe to end your February, like tomorrow, do, special leap year 3 for 25. Or, we've talked about a lot of other ways that you can do leap year. One of the things we mentioned in our unit meeting a few minutes ago is to sell 29 items in 29 hours for $29 a piece. And you guys, that's $841 or something like that you would sell. So that is a great deal too. It would help you get your SOAR prize, the earrings, which I thought I had them right here, but the beautiful earrings that you can win, help you get closer to be on target for Star Consultant. And so, I mean, honestly, maybe you could sell 29 sets. Yeah, thank you, Gina. 29 sets of the those hand creams. What's 25 times 29? That's $725. Y'all could do it. You could do it. So text 29 people and say, hey, I got a really special deal. I'm selling our brand new spring hand creams, 3 for 25. How many sets do you need? Come on. All right. So I just had to show that. I thought it was a good selling tip for now until the end of the month, which is Thursday, believe it or not. I told Brad, I said, Brad, can you believe March 2nd is Saturday and our March 3rd? No, is it 2nd or 3rd? The 2nd. He goes, I just can't even believe it. Because February is just rolling by. So anyway, I wanted to show you, I have a video picked out that I thought was so good for tonight. Then, we've been showing some of the 29 days of love, right? And so this one is actually the one for the last day of the month. And it's Gloria Mayfield Banks. But I thought it would be great to do it tonight just to finish strong for February. And if we have time, I might play one more, but I'm going to play this one. So on the 29th, this is spoiler alert. We're playing it tonight. Okay. So let me get it up right here and share it with y'all. And then we'll talk about it a little bit.
"29 days of love, pass it on." 29 days of love, pass it on. I love everything about this. Don't stop now. Don't stop now, because now that you've gathered all this fire, you keep going. My name is Gloria Mayfield Banks, and I'm an elite executive national sales director emeritus with Mary Kay Cosmetics. And when I tell you I'm excited to be here with you, because I love this company. I love this industry, and I love what it did for me. And can I tell you, I was 1 month short of 35 years with Mary Kay, and I didn't even want to be an entrepreneur. I in no way, form of fashion, thought it would be makeup, skincare, color, glamour that would take me to my dreams. I in no way thought beyond making a little extra money per week would lead me to the dreams of my lifetime. So I can understand if maybe you don't know it, or I can understand if you don't know that this could be something that can rock somebody's world, but it can, and it did, and it does for so many more who are different than me, different than you, but it's me and you that took on what Mary Kay Ash asked us to do. Pass it on. Well, I got some thoughts and some ideas for you, but I want to tell you, the number one thing I want to tell you is that it's worth it. It is so worth it. No matter how hard it gets, no matter how frustrated you get, no matter how challenging it is, on the other side of that, it is 10 times more joy, 10 times more exciting, 10 times more personal growth than you could ever have imagined. A little bit about my story. I was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan, grew up in a phenomenal household with magnificent parents who had a very strong desire to see our self-esteem rise. I'm the third of 4 girls, and all of us end up being very powerful entrepreneurs. Who knew? I went to school, but I found out in the 7th grade I was dyslexic, so I've had a very tough learning disability my entire life. But I still pushed through. Went to college, pushed through. Went to graduate school, went to Harvard Business School, and got my MBA after I went to undergrad at Howard University in Washington, D.C. And I worked hard because I was on a mission to be in the C-suite. That's what I wanted. That's what I was focused on. That's what I dreamed about. That's what the deal was. I prepared myself for the C-suite, and I was headed in that direction. What I wasn't prepared for was 10 years of domestic violence. 10 years of domestic violence. In fact, my very first day at Harvard Business School, I started with a black eye. And I tell people that story because I want them to know every third person has dealt with domestic violence or seen domestic violence or has seen someone else deal with domestic violence. It is so real. And the worst thing we can do is to be silent about it. But anyway, I was in 10 years of domestic violence, 7 years a single parent, and then I met the love of my dream, Ken Banks, and the love of my life. We've been married for 27 years, together just 34 years. Yeah, 34 years, and it's been amazing. We blended a family of 4, his 2 and my 2, and now we share 5. I was gonna say 6 because my grandnephew's always with us. But we share 5 grandkids, and it's a beautiful thing. So let me tell you why I want you to know that no matter where you are in this business, you can be massive at team building. Not good, not great, but you can become massive at team building. And let me tell you some thoughts. Number 1, make sure you know your story. No one is in my space for a decent amount of time without knowing that I'm dyslexic, without knowing that I dealt with domestic violence, not knowing that when they see me, they see a very smart, professional, successful woman who dealt with domestic violence and dark times, without knowing that I was a single parent, without knowing that I found my way into Mary Kay through just a skincare class, and without knowing that I honestly believe that no one fails at Mary Kay. You might like it, you might not like it, but to squirt, spread, and ask somebody else if they want it, I think that's a privilege that I get to ask you, because I don't know what it might do for you. So I'm gonna ask you, do you have your story? That's my story. Do you have your story? Because they're definitely gonna fall in love with the Mary Kay story. But do you lay out your story and transparently tell about your dark times that have now brought you to the light? I'm convinced that domestic violence was in my path so that I could lead other women through their path. Your gifts. Do you know what your gifts are? What are your gifts? Mine? I have the gift of energy. I have the gift of charisma. I have the gift of confidence. All of which I worked very hard to improve. But understanding what my gifts are prevents me from comparing myself to other people, because God gave me my gifts for me. And I know now when I use my gifts, I increase my influence, and therefore I increase my impact. What are you doing with your gifts? Do you know what they are? And do you use them aggressively and ambitiously in order to rock other people's worlds? Your activity is going to turn you into a massive team builder, just because you start to track your ask, not tracking their yes or no. Their yes or no does not determine your success, but the number of people you ask to listen. And not, by the way, listen, like, let's set up an appointment where we talk specifically about this. And the agenda goes like, and I ask them if this is an agenda that works for you. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you about you, and then I'm gonna tell you about me. And then I'm gonna tell you about the company. And then you ask me questions. And then I'm gonna ask you what you'd like to do. I mean, the number of times you do that per week will determine whether you turn it into a massive success or not. Number 4, know that they're looking for you. You have to know that women are looking for you. If you know they're looking for you, it gives you the anticipation that they're all over the place. Don't worry about the few. Worry about the fact that there are a million people in the world, and they deserve to listen to what you have to say and make their own decision. Don't make the decision for them, and don't try to pick who's going to be good and who's going to be bad, because you never know. And number 5, know your ambition and your capacity. I honestly believe that one of my strengths in this business is because I believe, like Mary Kay believed, that women have a large amount of capacity and they need to know how to use it. 29 days of love. Pass it on. So glad I had a chance to be here with you. I'll be watching. Stay close. I love my girlfriend and your wife.
Okay, you guys. This is the master. I mean, if we knew how many gold medals Gloria Mayfield Banks got, it would blow you away. Like, I don't even know. I know that I think she had like 800 unit members. I mean, I think it could be more than that, but it's amazing. And she finished well in Mary Kay as the #1 national when she retired. And so in her day. And so anyway, I wanted you to hear from her. I got a lot of things out of it. I'm going to take my spotlight off because I would like some other people to chime on in as well. But one of the thing that I got out of it that I don't always do is share my whole story. Okay. I share my story, but sometimes I don't always share the dark times because, you just you really don't want to talk about them too much. But I see her point because it shows that she's an overcomer, and that people think, oh, if you'd had this, this, and this, and this, then you wouldn't be able to do it either because they don't know that you've overcome some things. So I think it's okay to share your story on the other side of your success. You know what I'm saying? People don't always want to hear your sad story unless there's the other side that you have overcome it. So if you're in the story, like if it's in the middle of a mess, you wait, get through it, and then talk about it. Does that make sense? That's what I've always learned. So some people are going through something right now that you have no idea, but years down the road, you will hear about it and you'll be like, wow, I never knew that. But it gives you encouragement that you can get through some stuff too. What's something that y'all got out of what Gloria said?
Lita,
Yeah.
I was just thinking about what you said, and we've heard so many years, you don't share anything about you and blah, blah, blah. But I think people sometimes look like at us and think, well, you have to be a certain way, a certain look, a certain whatever. But if you start sharing things you've been through, like you said, on the other side of it, not currently, but on the other side of it, then they're like, these are real people with real stories and real lives. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And that's how I feel about it too. No one really wants to sit here and let you, if you're going in the middle of something, I mean, except for your close friends, but then later you can look back and go, I know what you're talking about. I've been through some things like that, And so, who else has something to say about what she said? Sayla?
What she said about working in your own strength, and that keeps you from comparing yourself with others because God gave you your set of strengths. I thought we are always told to stay in our lane and don't look to the left or right, but the way she put it was very, because you see people in Mary Kay and you say, oh, well, she's a great speaker, she's different things, but if you're operating in your strength, then yes, she has hers and that's great, but you have yours. And I just thought that was really good. And then to your point about talking about things you've been through, I think it's good to talk about that, but I also think it's good to do like she did, and she just breezed right through it. She
Right.
didn't get stuck down in it. She said like it was just almost like not even a full sentence, and she was, you know, a sentence or two, and she didn't sit there and explain and go into paragraphs and, you know, a long time. She just zipped through it, and really it was just a blip, and then she talked about all the good. So I thought it was really good.
Absolutely. I think that's a great point. I mean, she said, I've been 10 years of domestic violence. That's fact number one. I went to, I enrolled at Harvard with a black eye, fact number two. And then she didn't go through all the mess, but just, this is what I have overcome. I'm dyslexic, still is, but I've overcome, I mean, she still is, but she has worked through her learning disability. So yeah, so that's a good point. And the other thing that I was thinking when you were talking is how you always compare your your weaknesses to other people's strengths. That's what we do, right? So if you I think that is a great point about you focus on the gifts God gave you. And she said, then I've also worked to improve and grow those strengths and work in those strengths. So thank you for that. Okay. Gina, you got any comments on it?
And that's exactly what I was just going to say, is that she worked through and built on her strengths instead of trying to figure everything else out. And I have to be honest and tell you, I just figured that out in the last month or so. It was to give it away. If it's something that I couldn't do, just find somebody else to do it and focus on what I'm good at. So I'm so thankful for what she just said. It is the truth. We have got to focus on what God gave us to gift other people through. If he gave it to us, he wants it to go through us to other people.
Good. Very good. Thank you. And you look so cute tonight. I don't know your hair, your makeup, what it is. You've been to the beach, but yeah. Don't Gina look cute tonight?
Thanks.
Okay, who else has something? Maureen, you got any comments or might have
Yeah, I
missed?
was thinking about that too when she was talking about her story. And you know what? We're called to share our testimony. And I mean, that's what we're supposed to do. God wants us to do that, to give hope to other people who might be battling in the things that we've already gone through. And don't we want to get some sage advice from somebody who's already gone through it versus somebody who has no idea? And you don't know who you're talking to. You don't know what they've been through. And God's the one that puts us all together and in front of different people for a reason. We don't set it up. He sets it up. The other thing was that she tracks her asks.
Mhm.
I really like that versus her yeses and nos. So I'll be tracking asks.
Mhm. Yes, very good. Okay. Anybody else have a comment?
I was just going to say that remember, people are actually looking for you, and I think that's something that we forget. Like when we're going out and, we're trying to look for the right people and look for this and look for that. But, people are literally praying for an opportunity. And how many times have you talked to somebody and they're like, I was just asking God to show me something that I could do. I don't remember if it was on this call or a different call, but family of 4 right now needs an extra $1,029 a year, or a month extra, just to have the same lifestyle as last year, right? So there's so many people looking for an opportunity. And one way to look at it is you're being really selfish if you don't share.
Mhm.
And until somebody told me that, because I was always like, oh, and I was very shy initially, I guess. I don't know if shy is the right word, but not so much out there sharing, but we're being selfish if we're not.
Mhm. Thank you. Thank you. Good point. Sandra Griffin, I think you had something to say.
Yes, I was just gonna say, when she said, know your own story, like your story, not no one else's story, but your story, and just share it. But like you said, don't just harp on it. Just give them a synopsis, but don't be selfish because you don't know, who needs to hear what you have to say, and be bold with it.
Absolutely. Thank you. Very good. Very good. Sayla?
Yeah, I had one more thing that just, and that is that she said, don't look at someone and say she would be good or she wouldn't. And then when you offer it, don't decide for her that yes, she's going to do it or no, she isn't. And I think that's so good. A lot of times we look at people and say, oh my goodness, you know, she would never do this because she has too much, or she could never do this because she doesn't have enough, or, you know, she doesn't have enough time. She doesn't have, you know, the different things, but we're not supposed to pick or decide on the other end what she's going to do. So I thought that was really good.
Very good. And, I was in a class with Donna and Sweeney this last week, and she was talking about someone that she interviewed that she said, I went through it. She was, I was younger in Mary Kay, and I went through everything. I was telling her all about the money. And I just went on and on and on and on. She goes, and at the end, she goes, I mean, I wouldn't do it for the money. That's not what I need. I would probably do it for the community. She said, I didn't even get to know the woman. She said, like, I just went on and on and on and on the stuff that I needed because I needed money. She said, but had I asked some questions and got to know her. So I want to repeat the agenda that she uses. And y'all, this is something we have done. When I say since I started Mary Kay, I'm not even kidding, 38 years. It was the 5 steps. I think Cheryl Warfield taught it to me way back in the day. But it's just, you tell them, say, hey, we're going to do 5 things. Number 1, I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. Number 2, I'm going to let you tell me a little bit about you. Number 3, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the company. Actually, I think number 1 is I'm going to ask you a little bit about you first. Excuse me. Number 1 is ask about them first. Number 2, you're going to tell a little bit about you. Number 3, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the company. Number 4, I'm going to let you ask some questions. And number 5, I'm going to see if this is something you'd like to do. Okay, you ready to get started? And you tell them that's what you're going to do. And then when you start out, say, let me hear a little bit about you. And the way that we have always been taught is you can tell someone's personality about what they tell you about themselves. Okay. The D personalities, which is dominant, they'll go, well, what do you want to know? Okay. I mean, like they're just going to say, well, like, what exactly do you need to know? Or they'll say, well, I graduated with, magna cum laude. I went to college and I got 3 degrees and I am a executive at the bank. And, I was, and they'll tell you about all their accomplishments. Check, 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 check. Okay. And then the I personality, which is more influencing, they will start at birth. Okay. I was born in Valdosta, Georgia, 61 years ago, and they will go through their elementary school, probably in their high school, where they played basketball, and then their college, and they were married, and how that went, and then they'll continue until the present day, okay? And they'll tell you about some fun things they did or things they accomplished as well, okay? You will get a lot and know about them, and when you hear these things, well, I'll go back to when you hear them. Okay, so then the C personality, the S personality is more steady, security, they're family oriented. They're going to go, you can say, tell me a little bit about you. Well, I have 3 children and 2 are married. And then I've got 4 grandchildren. One's involved in ball, one does ballet. And I have my mom and she lives near me. I tell all about that. And you'll know not much about her, excuse me, but you will know a lot about her family. Okay. All right. Then the 4th one, this is the C personality, more analytical, and they're going to be really probably a little short and sweet. And they may say, I'm 61 years old. I have an accounting degree. I work for so-and-so. I'm married and I have 2 kids. They're just going to be very, maybe just simple, direct, and not, maybe some details, but they're not going to go on and on. It's going to be short. They could even be going, the D's are going, how much time do you think it's going to take? And the I's have no concept of time. They're going on and on. Okay, so if it's a D personality, someone that maybe lists some accomplishments, they're kind of looking at the time and all that kind of stuff. So when she tells you that about herself, when you go back to tell about yourself, you're not going to go on and on and on about your family. Okay? You're just not going to. You can tell a little bit, but you're going to say, oh, that is awesome. I can tell that you just have had a lot of accomplishments in your life. A little bit about me is that I also went to high school, went to college. I have a computer information degree. And, you may tell a couple of your accomplishments, a little bit about you and Mary Kay, and then say, really, when I hear you talk, I think, man, she'd make a great sales director of Mary Kay. And I can tell you probably get in here and get with it, and you would just accomplish all kind of things with your personality. And just listen to some of the former things that you have done. And you talk and say, and the money is so great at Mary Kay. I mean, the nationals, you can talk a little bit about that if you needed to. Okay. But with that I personality, she's going to want to know about the fun. You're going to talk about going to seminar. You're going to talk about rooming together. You can talk about how we go out to eat afterwards, and sisterhood and all the love and the sharing and the fun. And you'll tell a little bit about your story and with that with Mary Kay too. Okay. And then with the S personality, she's going to want to know about your family. Okay. So you're going to tell a little bit about your family. If you have any similarities to her, grandchildren, you're going to talk about that. And then you're definitely going to talk about God, family, career. When you talk about the company, talk about Mary Kay, Ash, and how her grandson runs it and her great granddaughter runs the foundation. You're going to talk about some things like that hits her hot button. The C personality, she's going to want facts and figures. We've been in the company 60 years. We're the #1 best-selling skincare company and color in the direct selling industry in the entire world. You're going to tell her some things like that, some facts, about how we make our money. All right. So it's just a matter of listening. And then, because Mary Kay can fit all the personalities, y'all agree? Can fit all the personalities. But if I'm trying to tell Miss C personality that likes details all about my grandkids for 40 minutes, she's not going to do it. Okay. Even though we love our grandkids, but you have to say, Mary Kay Ash used to say, monkey see, monkey do. Whatever she says to you, you're going to hit her on the things that she likes, because the interview is really not about you. It's about her. And how can Mary Kay fit in her life? So ask her some questions. Then she's going to say, do you have any questions? She's going to ask you a few things and then say, well, is there any reason why you wouldn't like to get started today? Can you see yourself doing something like this? So I thought that's a good agenda. That's the way we were taught. Directors, consultants, y'all have any comments to any of that? Y'all agree?
Agreed.
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 Okay. So I think
my only comment,
No.
Cleta.
Misha, yeah.
Yeah, one thing that I heard National Sales Director Amy August say was that eyes are not always interested in the prizes. Some of them are more interested in the influence portion.
Yeah. That's a good point. They want to be influential. Everybody does, but yes, you're right. They want to be seen and heard. We can't help it. So, when I started Mary Kay, I was more I off the chart. Then I turned into a big fat D. And so, but I have that big C in me with my analytical computer side, right? And then I don't know where the S is, but it's with my mom and my husband. That's why the Lord didn't give me a bunch of kids. I have some S. I love my family. And that don't mean you don't when you're a different personality. But anyway, isn't that funny? But it's for all of us, it's for all of us. So anyway, and I really want people in my unit that have all those different traits, don't y'all? And on your team? Because if you had a whole team of just S's, if there is a ball game like I had tonight, see, I had my S came out, then they're all going to be at the game, But if you had all D's, it would be a lot of, I just think maybe the fun factor might be a little lessened, I don't know. We have to teach the D's to loosen up a little bit.
I need the C's to read all the rules.
That's right. That's right. I got to tell y'all something this week. I was asked to do a class, and I haven't got the whole thing ready, but for the Atlanta Career Conference that I'm going to. And it's only 12 minutes. And I came up with this is communicate, don't irritate. Okay. That's going to be my theme, is how we communicate as a consultant to our customers and to our team members. And then as a sales director to our consultants and our customers as well. And because there's a way to do it. And I want to just tell you, like this week, my unit members know I sent out this email to everybody. And then I reread it after I'd already sent it. Of course, why would you want to read it before you go? And it had like 2 or 3 typos. I hate typos. They bother me so bad. And when anybody does it, I want to point them out. Okay. But I did. And so I just went back and I thought, So I sent an entire other email afterwards. And I said, hey, Linda, she's smiling. They know. I said, just so you know, I read over the email I just sent you and I saw the typos. And I want to assure you that I did graduate from high school. And that's what I said. And I said, so just so you know, I saw them there after the fact, in case you think, I have no education or whatever. And then I said, and then this week I text 400 and something people on a project broadcast, my customers, about this big event that I was having on Tuesday, February 22nd. And yet it was on Thursday, February 22nd. And you pay for those project broadcasts. I mean, it comes, you only get so many, right? And then you have to start. So, I had to turn around and say, that would be Thursday. And actually, I didn't even know it. A customer said, is it Thursday or is it Tuesday? Because you said Tuesday, but then the flyer says Tuesday. I said, it's Thursday. It's Thursday. So I said, but then in my email, I told them that. I said, about my mistake. I said, but they say that perfect people don't have very many friends and it makes you more real when you make mistakes. I said, so that's about as real as it gets. But what I'm saying to you is communication with your people, with your friends, with your, scripts are great, but you do want to also be yourself in your text messages and in your emails, and that you want them to know that you really did put it out there to them. And that you're just like them. You're just a hardworking woman trying to make ends meet just like everybody else in the world, And what will happen is customers will love you more. They'll get to know you more. They'll love you more. And I had a girl come up to me at church. She said, we just got to somehow get you to that million. I said, I know, girl. I said, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. She goes, I want you to get that so bad. And she's one of my very good customers, And so like customers they want to know about your goals and they want to see you succeed. Just like if I had a friend trying to succeed at something, I want to see her succeed and I'm happy for her. And I do what I could to help her if it was anything that I could do, So share your goals with your people, share your dreams. And I'll be talking about that. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but that is going to be some of my tips at the Atlanta Career Conference if y'all are going. And so, listen, we're going to go ahead and end it up. But we have till Thursday to finish up the month really strong. Use some of the ideas that are out there. We put a lot on Cheetah Nation as well. But there's a lot that can be done the last 4 days of the month. I have seen it so many times. Like double what you have on your team and in your unit, right? And so that's the goal. Double it. Double. Okay. So all these little videos about team building, they really don't mean nothing unless you actually go talk to someone about selling Mary Kay. So let's challenge it and do that this next couple of days and take some people that you can talk to and do that little agenda. Tell me about you. I'll tell you about me, tell you about the company, ask some questions. Would you want to do this? Okay. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much and have a great, great rest of the week. And we'll see y'all in March. We're going to March 4th, right? Okay. Matter of fact, is the next meeting on March 4th? It is. We're going to March 4th on March 4th. All right. Bye, everybody. Let me stop.